Small Business Supply Co. is the hub for small business owners to connect and support one another while also being a one-stop shop for their small business supplies. They love the phrase community over competition, just like we do on the podcast, so they wanted to create a space to reflect that. Aside from their supportive small business community, they also have matching poly mailers, thank you cards, washi tape, stickers, envelopes, custom business cards, and more. Their designs are unique to them, and everything is created with an eco-friendly mindset. Yay! They also have a QR code in each package that will pull up their recycling page, giving you instructions on how to properly dispose of each item you receive.
Each item was created with a small business owner in mind, meaning they sell in low, affordable quantities to maximize your profit margins. We all know the struggle of carrying armfuls of packages into the post office, but that is no more. They also sell giant tote bags perfect for carrying your packages in, which means less trips to the car for you. Are you intrigued yet? Head over to their Instagram and TikTok at Small Business Supply Co., spelled Small Business SPLY Co., to shop all of their amazing products and follow their journey. Their business is truly a small business owner's dream.
Cora B. Gallery has been making a name for herself in the South for her colorful and iconic portraits. Her pieces are all designed to not only show off the subject of the painting, but to also bring a beautiful and exciting piece of artwork into your home. Her new portrait series, Icons and Idols, showcases some of the most memorable faces in music. Each original portrait is hand-painted and designed to showcase their most iconic music and images. These paintings have the most famous faces in music, depicting everyone from Louis Armstrong and the Beatles to Billie Eilish and Beyoncé. All of her portraits are also available in 8x8-inch art prints that make the perfect gift for the music lover in your life this Christmas. Use our code CYA15 at corabgallery.com for 15% off your first order. Again, that is code CYA15 at corabgallery.com for 15% off your first order. Hey guys, I'm Katie.
And I'm Alexis, and this is the Check Your Aesthetic podcast.
I forgot that we had to record
Yes.
the intro, so I fed my dog and I started eating my chicken salad.
Yes, I was like, Katie's like, okay, well, I have to go blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, we have to record the intro. But we just recorded for almost an hour with probably my favorite influencer of life, Clare McLaughlin. She
was an angel.
Literally. I think that I haven't edited it, obviously, because we're obviously we're recording the audio right now. But no, I can definitely tell that this will be my favorite episode, and that is a really great feeling.
Yeah. So Claire is a TikToker, a designer. You'll hear she's a lot of things, artist, but she talked about all kinds of things ranging from like starting on TikTok, growing on TikTok, to dealing with hate, to kind of the sharing your life on the internet and like what that's like. So there was a ton of really good content. And like we said, we talked for a really, really long time.
Honestly, I wanted to keep talking, but I was like, this episode cannot be longer than an hour.
Yeah.
So,
but
maybe we'll have to have her back on. Ooh.
Alexis and I don't really have all that much to share with you about our own lives. We need to do it we need to do a catch up soon, but
okay. If you guys have any requests for our holiday episode, please DM us because we need ideas. We're gonna do a solo or not solo, but just the two of us.
Yeah, so. Last year we talked about like traditions and stuff, but we kind of want to mix it up. Maybe we'll do a question box and get you guys to share your traditions. Did we do that last year? We might have.
I think we did.
I don't know, but we'll figure it out. My dog is like super interested in my chicken salad. Like really enthralled in the chicken salad.
I'm very interested in the food that I'm about to make when we stop
I'm really interested in my chicken salad as well. And on that note, I think we should just go ahead and get into the episode because there is nothing that we can tell you that's more interesting than what you're about to hear. So
agreed.
We love you guys and we hope that you enjoy this episode, and we will talk to you in about 4 seconds when you hear us talking to you again.
Let's do it. Claire, thank you so much for coming on and being a guest today.
Hi, Katie. Hi, Alexis. Thank you so much for having me. My first podcast. I'm very excited.
I'm very surprised this is your first podcast. I really am.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Same.
Really?
Yes.
Yes.
I feel like there's so many podcasts now that like everybody has been on just so many podcasts. Like I just feel like everybody's been on all kinds of podcasts, but
yes, but I also don't like, I have been invited on podcasts. This is the only one that I've said yes to, I guess, because
that is so
I
nice.
listened to an episode and really liked it.
Oh my God. Okay. I have to share. I already said this to Claire earlier before we started recording, but I feel like I'm like meeting Martha Stewart. Like this is like a really big day for me. Honestly, I've been following you. I told Katie, I've been following you, I think since you had like 5,000 followers on TikTok.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
Yeah. So like, this is a huge day for me, honestly.
It's really no big deal.
Alexis is meeting her idol.
Else. I am truly.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah. Okay. So anybody.
JK.
I love that. Oh my God.
But anybody that doesn't know who you are, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and explain kind of your story?
Definitely. So hello, listeners. I am Clare McLaughlin, and I am a TikToker. I'm a content creator. I'm an Instagrammer. I'm an artist. I'm an interior designer. I'm a graphic designer. The list really goes on. And I'm still trying to figure out like how to phrase what I do. It's the kind of thing where like, I'm really proud of what I do, but it's a lot of different things. It's a lot of different hats. So I'm like, trying to figure it out as I go, basically.
Yeah.
If someone asks you on the street what you do, what do you say?
I don't even know. Well, I also lie because I actually always lie because people like what I do is like, I'm an influencer, but I hate the word influencer. And I think there's so many negative connotations with it.
There are.
So like when I first got into it and I was like calling myself the accidental influencer, I was so excited. But then I realized like I would tell someone, oh, I'm an influencer. And it just got the worst reactions out of people that you could ever imagine. And so now I try to keep it a secret unless like I actually know the person. Like I do not want to talk about it. So I just say I'm a designer, but then they'll like be like, well, what do you design? And I'm like, well, I design, one thing a month. But in reality, I'm more of a content creator. They're like, what's a content creator? I'm like, an influencer.
Yeah, it always makes it there anyway. Yeah, that's how Alexis and I both have like businesses / we're podcasters / it's like every hour I have like a different job. Plus I have a real job. Job.
And we're both in full-time grad school. So we just,
we both, you guys are badass. That's awesome.
Thank you. Lord knows what we are anyway. But yes. Okay. So in the sense of the whole accidental influencer situation, kind of explain that whole story from, starting with nothing to kind of like getting where you are. And I know it kind of went fast for you. So just kind of explain the story of how that all happened.
Definitely. So yeah, it has only been like 8 months since I've like become an influencer. So
that's crazy.
I know it is crazy. So in April of last year, so like to frame it out for everyone, I went to Parsons School of Design and I went back there to get my degree in interior design. So I got my master's degree, which I was super proud of, super excited about. But then when I graduated, I couldn't get a job because of COVID. So like no design firms were hiring. And so I essentially was like, I'm just going to do what I want to do and just see how it works out. So I became an artist, and well, I always was an artist. I don't think you like become an artist, but I decided that I was going to start painting for a living. So I started like selling commission paintings. And I was like really, barely making it work. And looking back, it was probably what should have been a really stressful time, but for me, it was like the best time of my life. And I was having so much fun. And I was just like waking up every morning, so excited to be alive and like doing what I loved. So looking back at it, like I should have been like way more stressed about money or like my future, but I wasn't, which is kind of weird, but that's how I am. So anyways, I kind of had like a really small Instagram following of like 1,000 people. And I had like maybe 5 TikTok followers, and I would just post videos of myself painting. And like, I think I was saying to you guys before we started, but I don't know why I thought that I could just like paint something and add no text to the video, add no hook to the video. And like, people would just be in love with the video. Like, yeah, exactly. Like, I guess it's a good thing that I'm like proud of my work, but at the same time, like, I don't know what I was thinking. But so those videos, they didn't really do good. And like that, it was definitely a learning lesson to any artists that are listening to this. Like, your work, I'm sure, is beautiful, but there has to be something else there for people to be hooked onto
like
your content.
Marketing almost.
Yeah, exactly. Like there has to be something that's going to like make the person want to watch, unless it is like the most amazing piece ever that's really going to like knock it out of the park.
Groundbreaking
usually,
situation.
Groundbreaking. Yeah. But my stuff was more like, a pet portrait, a house portrait. And it was cute, but like, come on.
Right.
It's no Van Gogh. So anyways, I was kind of just posting videos of myself painting, and it wasn't really getting anywhere. And then, sorry, my dad is texting me and I have to tell him to stop because he's not going to stop. He
Alexa,
literally
write down the
sends,
time.
Yeah, no
oh my
worries.
God, sorry. I literally need to text him right now.
Dad,
Because
I'm on a podcast.
he's
Dad, I
literally,
have big news.
I know.
I'm famous influencer. You need to I love it.
Please stop texting. I love you. I am on a podcast right now. LOL. He like thinks that he's, well, he doesn't think he's my manager. He like kind of is my manager because
Mhm.
I don't have a manager. So not that I like need a manager, but I don't know, I kind of bounce everything off my dad. So when I do something on social media and he sees, he'll like always have comments, or not like bad comments, but be like, oh, good job.
Suggestions or
Or,
whatever.
who's this?
Tell him to
Yeah,
leave a
like,
review
yeah.
on the podcast.
Oh, I will. Oh, he'll listen to this like 5 times and then come back
Oh
with
my
like
God.
pointers, and like he's like having a coach for a dad.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
sorry.
I love
That's
it.
my
I love it.
dad.
You're
My
totally
dad
fine.
listens to every episode as well and gives me, if I don't talk about him in an episode, he gets mad.
No.
Yeah. Here's his mention this time. Anyway.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Well,
Hilarious.
we love a dad interlude, but
Yeah. What were we talking about though?
we were talking about TikTok and paintings, and
Oh yeah.
how
So
you need
I
you have to have a hook.
Oh yeah, you have to have a hook. Okay, so we'll leave off there. So all right, I'll start now. So yeah, you always need to have some kind of a hook, and I definitely didn't have one. And then one day it was like a Sunday, I remember, and it was in April, and I cleaned my entire apartment out, and I was so proud of like how clean it looked. And like I feel like human beings, we naturally just want to share things that we're excited about. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a TikTok. So I did a TikTok, and then I was like, I am creative and I am artsy. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna make like a little like voiceover with this, like just for fun, like a little movie. And I just had fun with it. And I think I talked about like my decor style, and I put it up, and then like I put my phone down and we had dinner, and then I picked my phone up and I was like, oh my God, like what is happening? It was like, I can't describe like that first feeling of just getting bombarded with just likes and follows, and like it was just crazy. And then I like didn't sleep that whole night because I was getting so much like good feedback, and it's really intoxicating when you have something that goes viral. And so I was like up all night, like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, why? And I was so confused because I was like, it's just my apartment. Like, it's just clean. I just like that it was clean, but everyone's freaking out about my like decorations and stuff, which I just didn't ever really think twice about because I just live in this apartment and I love it and whatever. So then, yeah, it just started going crazy. And then people started commenting, oh, it looks like you live inside of a Nancy Meyers movie. And that's my favorite type of movie. So then I decided I was going to start making some videos, like little parody videos
inspired by that kind of
inspired by Nancy Meyers, and kind of act like this little sarcastic character that was living inside of a Nancy Meyers movie. And I started doing it, and then I could not stop. And I was like, I can't even describe like how much fun I was having those 2 weeks. Like I was just in my apartment all day and I just ran with it. And I think I don't know why I ran with it so hard, because in my head, I wasn't like, I want to be an influencer. In my head, I wasn't like, oh, I want to do this to promote my art. I was just like, this is so fun. And I just want to do this. Yeah. And like, I didn't even have a point. Like, yeah, there was no reason that I was really doing it except for that I was having such a blast, and like, just, I was laughing and I was just having fun. And Brian, my fiance, was getting involved, helping me film things. And I didn't even know why I was doing it, but I was doing it. And then like with the Nancy Meyers videos, they really blew up. And then people had questions about my decor. And then I said, okay, I got to answer these questions. So I started answering questions about my bed frame. And then, how do you make your bed? Oh, I'll tell them. And then I would like start making videos of that. And then I just started making videos about everything that people had questions about. And then like, that's why I said I was an accidental influencer, because I genuinely didn't do it to become an influencer.
Right, you
I
didn't like try to make this happen. It just kind of did.
Exactly.
Right.
And like, I think there's a lot of like, I feel like right now, especially on TikTok, there's a big like group of people that are like micro influencers, and a lot of people that are really, really trying to be influencers. And I think it's great. I think like influencing is the new thing. Like it's the new culture. It's like the new way our whole economic system is like going to become dependent on it. So I think it's great. However, I think a lot of people that are trying to be influencers are doing what they think they're supposed to do to be an influencer.
They think like they're following like a script, but it's not. Like you have to be yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. Like you can't do it how people used to do it. Like 5 years ago, like people totally could like have a great sense of style, have a great sense of interior design, and kind of do what other people did and make it. But now it's like people are everyone's so bored. Everyone is so ADD. I mean, I literally am diagnosed, so I could say that. But everyone's attention span is shot. So no one wants to see the same thing. People always want to see something new and
Totally.
exciting. So I just feel like I look at all of these micro influencers and they're doing the same thing and they're literally little like versions of each other. And I'm like, I want to be like, girls, what are you doing? Like,
Right.
do something that's actually you. Like that can't be
Unique.
you. Yeah.
Right.
And it has to be something that you're like literally so interested in that you would do it all day, or you have to be so passionate.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise
we
it
talk
won't
about
work.
that so much.
Yeah,
we talk about like finding something
sustainability.
that's sustainable for yourself, that you can continue doing it and you're not going to get like burnt out or like frustrated with it.
Totally.
But so as you say, you call yourself the accidental influencer. What do you think, like rising to TikTok fame like so quickly? Do you think that, what are the pros and cons with that kind of rise?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot. Like, obviously, I don't want to overshadow the pros with the cons because I feel like I'm trying to get out of that mindset, because it's been a really exciting journey, but it's been a really weird one for me.
Right.
Because like I'm naturally very introverted. Like, I'm an introverted extrovert. So I love talking to you guys right now. Like, I'm like, I'll go, but then after I'll probably have to like sit down for half an hour in silence. You know what I mean? So like, I'm someone that gets very overwhelmed super easily. And like, a lot of people are like this. So for me to all of a sudden have like all of these people's opinions, like in my posts, that was the first thing that got really, really like scary for me. Was I think I had probably hit like 30K, which like back then I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And like 30K, that's a big number. I think any number is a big number if you have people
like
following
a stadium.
you. It's crazy. Exactly. Yeah. So like, even if you have like 1,200 on TikTok, like that's still 1,200 people that literally signed up to be there for you. So I think that's exactly. So cool. It's a big deal to me and it's cool. So anyways, but I'm getting married. So I started making like wedding content. Like, my friend Caroline Crawford, she's on TikTok and
love her.
Yeah, she's amazing. She is amazing. I love her. Yes. And so she like really specialized in the wedding content. And I remember seeing her posts before I ever met her in person. I was like, oh, like I should talk about weddings too, because I'm planning mine. So I'll do that.
Right.
And I don't know how she got out of that like with such grace. Like I mean, her content is so amazing.
People are mean.
All the opinions are so out of control.
Yeah.
So I posted like a few videos about my wedding, but then I realized I was getting like severe anxiety about my wedding. And my mom and dad were on the phone and they were like, Claire, it's because you're literally having every decision go out to the world and you like want the external opinions on like random people in Oklahoma on your bridesmaids dresses. Like, no, you need to stop. Like, you need to stop. So then that was the kind of point where I was like, okay, so maybe with this whole social media influencer thing, like there needs to be a line of like what balance. I don't involve. Yeah, exactly. Like what I'm not going to bring onto it and like things that I'm going to choose to keep private. So I was like, okay, what do I want to keep private? Definitely my relationship, my marriage, like that stuff. It's just not, I don't need that to be up, but it's also, and at that point I was really having trouble like niching. I was like, I know that like people seem to like me on here, but I don't know why I'm doing, like, I really didn't realize like what I was doing. So then I was like, okay, you need to you have time, but like, I told myself like, figure it out, like try to figure out what you enjoy posting the most, like what content is resonating the most. So I slowly started doing that and realizing that a lot of it was like, not just interior design, but like me in my house doing things that are like related to design or interiors or entertaining or hosting aesthetic things, but like involve me. So I was like, okay, now I've kind of come up with like a recipe for it, which I think was really good. But by the time that happened, I was like hitting 100K. And that was when, like, I feel like once you hit 100K, I don't know what it is, but this is something Caroline Crawford told me. She was like, every influencer has like, they lose their virginity to the idea of like trolls and just like how horrible people can be. And it's usually like a pretty bad moment and something happens and you're just like, this is actually awful. And it puts you in a little bit of a downward spiral. So that happened to me when I hit like 100K. And I had dealt with like some mean comments before. And like this one person said like, when's the baby due? You look so pregnant. And like stuff like that. It's like, yeah, that's horrible. You should not be going and saying that to people. And there's seriously something so wrong with people. But like that kind of comment, like for me, it hurts, but it's also like, it's, I don't know. It's not like this next one that I'm about to tell you what she said. So that to me is like, okay, you know what? I'm not insecure about feeling like I look pregnant, you know,
it's
whatever.
Probably like a 13-year-old saying that.
Yeah,
it's just some idiot.
Exactly. And like, I'm able to deal with that. But then this other person commented on so many of my videos and I all of a sudden got all these notifications, this person going through all my videos saying like hateful things. And the one that I read was they commented on a video of me doing an unboxing video for David's Bridal. And I was just showing like cute party favors that they sent me for like a bachelorette party. And I was super excited about it. And I was just like, oh, I'm going to share on TikTok. And this is when I like really didn't put that much thought into like what I posted. Like I would post like in my niche, but then I would post kind of like other stuff too, to make it fun and exciting. And so I posted that video and she commented and she was like, your content has gone so downhill. I hate watching you now. I used to come to your page for
a specific thing. And
yeah, exactly. And like, and she was like, she basically said, you just throw things at the wall and hope that they stick. And it really upset me because it was like what I felt insecure about. I really was feeling a little bit not on solid ground about like what I was posting. So when she said that, it like punched me in the gut. I blocked her.
Yeah.
Good.
Dumb bitch. But
yeah. Sorry, girl. Well, now you don't get to come to my page at all. So.
Exactly. Yeah. But that was a point where I really was like, oh my God, that sent me into like a spiral where I really didn't want to post for like a month. Like I would post, but it was like, I don't know. I really went through like a spiral and I was like in a situational depression almost where I was really, really down on myself. And every single comment was like, you know, it was really sticking to me and I could not get around it. And then like, I was posting videos about fashion and just when you post a video about interior design, it doesn't get as much like bad feedback as does one when you post a video of your outfit. And I would post outfit videos and people would rip me apart in the comments, like for like, no, they'd be like, you don't know how to match colors. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I know about colors. Like if anyone does,
I went to school for design.
You went to school for
exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't know, there are things that you have to do to protect yourself. And I told myself, you know what, no more fit checks on TikTok. I can't do it. I'll do them on Instagram. I was like, I can't. And like, that's sad. And I don't want it to feel like, oh, the haters are silencing me. It's not really that. It's also like, that's something that I literally am not cut out for. And I'm not going to put myself through. So like, I'm not going to do it.
I know you just have to like take care of your mental health. People on TikTok are freaking mean. I think like the TikTok comment section, in my opinion, I don't even think that they're writing it so that the person who made the video sees. They're writing it so that other people think that they're funny.
Exactly.
Like the whole comment section, it's like everybody acts like the person who made the video can't see it. I'm like, no, they can, and they get a notification every single time that you comment.
Exactly.
So stop doing that. Yeah.
I know. It is weird. And that's definitely what the difference is between Instagram and TikTok. I would never get a negative comment on Instagram, but on TikTok, it's like, like you're almost fighting for like the best comment because then your comment is like at the top. So if it's really
and then everybody
funny
likes it and whatever, you get that validation.
Like, exactly. And like, if it's really funny, then like, it's probably also pretty mean because like people like mean things. Like I don't like mean things. I like get in comments. I get in like fights with people in comments of other people's videos. If I see someone being a bully, I can't stop myself and I will fight them. Like
I commented something the other day on somebody's TikTok. I was like, you look so beautiful or whatever. And somebody was like, are you into girls? I was like, oh no,
so stupid. God,
no,
people on TikTok are
like, y'all are literally off and you know, they're all like 12-year-olds who like just just learned all these like mean things from like the kids at school. I'm like, y'all need to calm down. It's too
awful.
much. But TikTok is brutal.
I like how you mentioned that, like, because I totally relate, and I think Katie can relate as well. And not that Katie and I are like these like crazy, you know, famous. But I think that first experience where like you'll get the mean comments that you're kind of able to just like write them off as a bully. And you're just like, whatever, you're a troll. Like it kind of like rolls off your back. It still stings a little bit, but it's easily looked past. But then that comment that like goes into like, they know what you're working towards. They've been watching you a while. You can tell that they've been watching you a while.
Yeah.
And then they like know exactly what's gonna like be that like twist of the knife. I've had that, and it definitely
we've gotten one of those
sucks.
about the podcast before. We've
we've had
we've gotten I'm not trying to call anybody out, but we've gotten something that was essentially along the lines of like, y'all are like not dialed in, like this isn't accurate. And we were like,
what?
Okay.
That's so ridiculous. That is so ridiculous.
But
anything.
It's definitely really hard because the things that you worry about, then you're like, for me, it's like in my head, I'm like, oh, well, they're right. Now I should just quit. Now I should just never, they were right. And I was, you know, what I was thinking was right. But then you have to be like, no, that's actually not true. Anyway.
No, I do the same thing. It hurts me like too much. Like I really like,
oh, I know. It's like embarrassing how bad it affects me.
I'm
like, I gotta write it in. I really need to write it in.
It is. Yeah.
It's crazy. Okay. So as far as your content goes, I guess if you're listening and you haven't seen Claire's TikToks or Instagrams, you need to go look at them so that you understand what's going on. But what is like, when you're filming your life as the lifestyle expert that you are, what is like, kind of like, how do you plan out when you're going to film things, or do you just film things while you're doing them? Like, what does a normal day of content creation or week of content creation
Yeah.
look like for you?
Yeah. So like it's really, I should be more organized, but I'm really not. And for me, like, and I'm sure all of you listening are creative people, so you'll get this. If I'm not in the mood to do something, it's not going to work. So I used to like make lists of what TikToks I would make in a day. But then I'd realize like, wait, I really am not in the mood to like clean my kitchen and make a cake or like
Yeah.
make this, special thing for TikTok. So I really had to stop doing that. And now basically what a day looks like for me is now I have some sponsorship deals,
Mhm.
especially with the holidays. So it's been like really
Yeah.
crazy with fitting in sponsorship deals, but then also like finding time to be creative and make my own TikToks that are just like natural and organic. So I've been, waking up in the morning and then I'll have 2 sponsor videos to make. So I just
Mhm.
make sure that I get those done. That's like my non-negotiable. But then yeah, whatever I end up doing that day, I just kind of figure it out on a whim. Like I don't really plan things out
Mhm.
anymore. And what I like about that is I feel like it does make my content really realistic, and like
Yeah.
whenever I do a voiceover, like I talk about the mood that I'm in that day. I like
Mhm.
it's just really real because I feel like, and I don't know, like I'm sure there are creators, I know there are creators that really plan out their content like beautifully, and that's just not how I work. And like I really wish sometimes that I could, but then again, I think
Yeah.
Mhm.
it does make my content a little bit more like natural and relatable, that I kind of just go with the flow and see what
I
happens for the
agree.
day. And yeah.
Yeah. I love that. I definitely think sometimes you can tell when people have planned things out, which like obviously there's nothing wrong with planning things out, and like sponsorships, like you have to
Yeah.
plan those out.
Oh, you have to. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know how the whole world of all that works, but like don't brands need like to approve things, and then like you
Oh
gotta,
yeah.
oh boy.
Yeah, it's not like the most fun process. I will say that it's
Yeah.
yeah, you'd be surprised by like, well, it really depends. There are some brands that I've worked with like multiple times that are so easy and like so flexible, and like basically I just send them the content and they'll be like, love it,
Mhm.
post it now. But then other brands, it's like 3 to 4 rounds of edits, and I am totally used to edits and I totally get why they need to edit, but it was something I wasn't prepared for in terms of like time and what I'm charging for
Mhm.
that. Because when you like get an offer from a brand, you'll tell them, I'll do it for a certain amount of money. But then like I didn't think about what goes into that, like
Yeah.
calculating out the time that really you're taking to like film the content, edit the content. But then it's not just that, then you have 4 rounds of edits. So then you're
And
actually spending four
communicating with
hours
them, like,
extra. You're
yeah.
communicating with them. So you really, that's another reason that I really just like, people really undercharge. I think like I've been seeing some TikToks of what influencers charge. And I'm like, I charge way more than that, like as I should and as you should. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
it really kills me when people undercharge, because it's such work, and like you're literally creating something totally unique for the brand. And it's like, and a lot
Right.
of brands really don't value it. And I've had a lot of brands be like, oh no, you're way out of budget. And I'm like, okay, well, you reached out to me. But also like, but like, but then a lot of brands are like, totally great. And I'm like, wait, what? Okay,
Yeah.
what?
That's a
But
Yeah.
really awesome feeling too.
it is, yeah. I know,
Yeah.
like every person that's creative knows that feeling. Like even when I was doing art and I would put a price that was way too high and a client would accept it, I'd just be like, oh my God. And I think everyone should just always put their price a little bit higher, even if it's like
Yeah.
$5. Like just
Yeah.
do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you have a project that comes up that you're like, I really want to work with this brand, then you can be like, okay, well then I can do it for this price. Like if you absolutely like, if your passions really align, I think that that's
Totally.
definitely really important. Especially
Definitely.
we've talked about this at work too recently. Like you have to charge for the time that you're communicating. Like that is a lot of time. And you have
I
to be
know.
like checking your email and then responding, and then they're responding like 2 days later, and then it's like
And
dragging
edits
out.
and
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a
totally.
lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. Like I think I spent like probably 2 hours this morning just glued to my email, like emailing
Yeah.
people back and forth,
Mhm.
back and forth.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I got off. I was like, wait, I haven't done anything creative. I was
It's
like,
been
oh
like
my
two
God. Like,
hours. Yeah.
yeah. And that's totally fine. But it is like, you need to charge for that. You have to bake it into your price, however that works for
Yeah.
you.
Exactly. For sure.
Definitely.
Definitely.
So you have a lot of like different kind of niches within your niche. So what is your favorite like type of content to create and like talk about?
Yeah. My definite favorite is like, well, I really like doing vlogs, but then I also really like doing just like cook something with me, or like make a
Mhm.
drink with me or something like
Simple
that.
kind
So
of.
yeah. And like lately I've been kind of combining the two so that it's like a mix of kind of a vlog, but also like a little bit of a how-to in it. So
Yeah.
you feel like
Mhm.
I want people to feel like they're watching me live, but also I want
Mhm.
it to be a little bit
They're getting something out
aspirational.
of it, kind
Yeah, I
of.
want them
Yeah.
to get like some kind of lesson out of it. I want there to be a hook. So I realized like I think last month 2 months ago, or no, actually over the summer, I did like a girls' night TikTok, and it got to like millions of views. And that was the first time that had really happened for a video that I wanted it to happen with.
Yeah.
And I was
Right.
like, and I was like, whoa. And I was like, yeah, that was a really good TikTok. So then I decided I was going to start focusing on doing that. So I did like a TikTok for my dad's birthday about like how I coordinated his birthday dinner and just fun stuff like that, where people can actually take that and do it in their own life and feel like inspired to do it. I want people to feel like,
Right.
I want people to watch it and be like, oh, I could do that for my fiance. I could do that for my friend. Like,
Right.
and yeah, so I've been kind of just doing like this combination thing. And the other thing that I think is a really good tip, and I learned it from this TikToker, her name is Kay Tuck, Kaytuc. Everyone, if you want to be an influencer content creator, go to her profile because she's so talented at this. She basically does this thing where she like confuses the audience. So she'll do a video of her wrapping a hostess gift, but she's not telling you like tie the ribbon and then cut it. She's telling a story about like her childhood that's like vaguely related to the TikTok. So like she's not exactly like, I don't know, she's not actually like telling people how to's anymore. Like that is so boring now. You need to kind of confuse the audience and like keep them engaged by like confusing them and just making them feel like they have to be on their toes. Like, wait, what is going on? Wait, what? So
exactly. Yeah. And I feel like that's how you get people to watch and listen. Cause like, if you want to know how to wrap a present or whatever, like then you have to watch, but then you're listening for something else. That's like in the same vein as these kind of annoy me because they're like severely unrelated. When people do like the true crime story, like sounds from other people's TikTok and they're like baking cookies and you're like waiting, you're like, is this going to connect? Like, is this ever going to connect? And then you have to watch like 8 parts and then finally it never connects, but then you have the whole story that you could have just watched in the original person.
Exactly. Yeah. Those are annoying. Those
TikTok
are
is crazy. TikTok is literally crazy. Like it's a crazy place to be. It's insane.
It really is. It's a crazy place to be like addicted to also.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I spend too much time.
All day. And I
so
think
bad.
like with a lot of people, especially like girls that are around our age, it's like the reason that we like your content and the reason that people like content like yours is it's like, you're going to be doing those things anyway. Your dad has a birthday, you know, your boyfriend needs a gift. Like it's figuring out like people basically showing you how to do things or like the, ideal way to do things like in, you know, whatever your mind is. Cause of course I have influencers that like, I'm like, that's what I want my life to be like. That's the whole point, you know?
Totally. Yeah, totally. And like,
kind of freaky sometimes, but
it is freaky. Well, yeah, that's the other thing about influencing is I think it's really weird. Like, I think a lot of it is pretty weird. Like,
I would love to look into the psychology behind it because like I'm addicted to influencers, but like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why am I?
Yeah, definitely.
No, it's really weird.
It's also so weird. Like, I think you would definitely understand this because like you said, you didn't like intentionally become like an influencer, but with Katie and I, like, specifically me, like I have kind of like not really been posting on my personal Instagram and really just been doing the podcast. And I had someone like respond to one of my stories and like asked a question about my wedding. And I haven't talked about my wedding like at all. Like I got engaged and I haven't talked about my
congrats.
Like, oh, thank you. But I haven't talked about it on my like Instagram, like really at all, just on the podcast. And I was like, just, I know that people are listening, but like, I don't know that at the same time. So then to have someone like that I don't know, have never talked to, and they're like, oh, this specific detail about your wedding. And I'm like, huh, what? You
that
know
is the weirdest. I think that's like one of the
weird.
weirdest parts because like,
shocking.
Yeah. And like, I used to just, you know, put any, like back when I was just doing my art and stuff, I just put stuff out into the world and no one really cared or like would take note of it. But then I realized like people actually really like listen to what I'm saying. And that's terrifying. It's honestly terrifying. Like,
it is terrifying.
It's nice, but it is really nice when they're like, oh, how's so-and like, what's going on with so-and-so or what's up with this and like in a nice way and stuff. But then I do have this kind of overwhelming feeling of like a responsibility, I think, for sharing my life. And like my engagement photos just came out and I did share them because I love them, but I was so nervous
so amazing.
about that.
I love them.
I really like how they came out, but I was like, I wasn't sure if I was going to share them, but people were asking for them because I had talked about them ahead of them coming out. And then people were like commenting, asking where they were. Like someone emailed me asking me where they were. And I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. Like,
I think it's people probably want to show their photographer your engagement photos and be like, this is what I want, you know?
Yeah.
And I think it's like, it's really when you find an influencer that like aligns with the way that you like, we use the word aesthetic a lot here, obviously, but like somebody who aligns with your aesthetic. And it's, I mean, it's really like, it's way easier to show somebody your engagement photos than to be like, I would like my engagement photos to look like this and like just describe it. So
true. Yeah, like there's a really good, that's a good thing about influencing. Like it does serve, you know, some good purposes. And I hope that like, I do hope, I mean, I've been trying to figure out like, just, I don't know, like the whole purpose of it all. And like,
Yeah.
besides making money, just making sure I feel good about it and like that I'm
Right.
enjoying it. And
It does.
I
It
have
can get
been,
slimy, I think, if
it can get
go too
really
far.
slimy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I felt slimy. Let's see. So 3 weeks, this is when I felt slimy. And I realized that like something had to change. I went to this influencer event and it was like, can I say this? It was at Stony Clover Lane. And it was like an American Girl doll Stony Clover Lane
Oh my
launch
God.
party.
A lot of my favorite influencers were there.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
And they definitely did a great job, you know, like inviting a bunch of people to the event. And like, I love the brand. I love Stony Clover so much. And I always have. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. And like, I just didn't know what to expect. And it was my first like real influencer event. And I went with my friend Caroline, thank God. Because it was like really weird. Like I don't know. There are a lot of influencers that I met, like Anna Page and Savvy, like that I followed them on, you know, Instagram and TikTok for a long time. And I really admire them and look up to them. They're so nice in person. But then there were a lot of the TikTokers that like weren't super nice in person and like were kind of just like, ooh. And I think it was just a whole like CNBC thing. And the brand just wants you to film and then put it up. So
they
that
want
they're
the
marketing their
pictures, they want the
products.
content.
Yeah. And then it's like, okay, well, I came all the way down to like Soho for this. And like, I don't get paid. Like, yeah, do I get a bag and a doll? Great. Like, and I don't want to complain about that, but also like my working time is time. And that's another reason that I'm kind of like, I can't get paid with gifts. Like that doesn't work for me. Like,
especially if it's an American Girl doll, you're like 20 something.
Yeah.
Like, sorry guys. Like, that's weird. All of the influencers I follow, like they were like in their vlogs, they were like, I'm donating this just to let everybody know. Like, I'm not just keeping this in my closet. Like I'm donating it. So, like, don't worry about it. But like,
that's what I said. But then the brand messaged me. They're like, oh, like here's a label. You can send it to Bye Bye Baby, I think it was. So I need to do that. But I kind of want to see if there's somewhere in my neighborhood that I can give it.
Yeah.
But
I bet you there'll be like
so
Christmas, like holiday angel things that you can give like as a little gift.
Kind of.
I'm sure that will be.
Definitely. Yeah. Like I want it to be somewhere in my neighborhood. Like, and I am trying to figure out too, like there's all of this kind of kickback on TikTok about like New York City influencers that like aren't involved in their community and are, you know, just
I've been seeing that.
Rich white girls and, you know, and all they talk about is, you know, where to go to eat and all that stuff and how it's like pretty offensive and like unattainable. And it's tough because it's like, I definitely push like a certain aesthetic and a certain like lifestyle. And like the fact that I live in New York probably contributes to my success because people view it as like a dream place to live. But in reality, like all I do is like sit in my apartment and I barely leave it. And I'm not like the typical New Yorker.
And pay like extremely high rent.
Exactly.
Exactly.
But I don't want to like capitalize on the fact that I live in New York City and I'm totally a transplant. I don't want to like capitalize on that. And I do want to make sure that I can figure out a way to like get more involved in my community and feel a little bit more grounded here. And like, I don't know, there's a kind of gross, like capitalizing off of New York and not really fully doing anything to be involved in your community. So that was a tangent, but I'm looking into ways to kind of like start volunteering or get involved just because I think influencing is really vacuous and it can feel like really
and you want to have
sometimes.
like a purpose kind of, and like I feel like you're the type of person along with Katie and I that we want like a reason to be doing this and like somehow that we can be helping people, even if it's like not in like a, you know, not trying to say that I'm like a doctor, but like, you know, making people happy and doing something like for the greater good, I guess.
Like, I think like when someone comments and they'll be like, you inspire me to like get my life together, or you inspire me to clean out my house today, or you inspired me to cook a healthy dinner. Like that really, I know it's like such a small thing, but that does make me happy because I know about like, and like I know like I follow a lot of like YouTubers that will inspire me to do something for myself. And I love that. It makes me happy. It like really makes me happy. So I think if I can just focus on being like a positive force in people's lives and really I try to not focus on anything negative. So
I feel like it's interesting to hear because I think a lot of times people think, and myself included, like that it's all like influencing is all like fun and going to these fun parties and doing all these fun things and like doing all this, you know, all this stuff. And I think obviously that's like part of the job is to paint, like you said, like show positive things, like not ignore the negative things, but like you don't want to be on there and be like, hi, I'm having a hideous day. I hope all of you also have a hideous day. You know, but like, I think there's a lot of accountability and like, if you want to do it in a way that is not, like we said, slimy, then there's a lot of things to think about that a lot of people don't think about, which I think is good that you are thinking about them. I wonder how many times I can say think about in a sentence.
Don't worry.
Love it. Okay. So I want to talk about Amazon Live. So
Yes,
you've done a number of Amazon Lives, correct?
I have. Yes,
Talk to us about that. I'm sure that was
definitely.
crazy. I'm sure that was a
Yeah,
crazy moment when Amazon asked you to
it
come on.
was. Yeah. And like, I will say, just so your viewers know, or listeners know, I think that anyone can get on and do it. So I
Really?
think, yeah, I'm pretty sure you can just start doing it. I didn't know that was a thing, but Amazon. So I had been putting a lot of TikToks up with Amazon products.
Mhm.
And I knew from my storefront data that I was selling so much of their stuff.
Yeah.
And like,
Mhm.
it's honestly how I make probably half. Yeah, they reached out to me and basically said, like, we've noticed you've done great sales for us. So we'd love to consider you for like Amazon Live. And basically, how they help me with it is they basically compensate me for my time for this kind of trial period where I'm trying out doing the Amazon Live, seeing if I like it, seeing how it goes. And, I'm committing to doing a certain amount in a month and then we see how it goes. And so far, it's been going really well. It's like my first one, I think I had like 20 people on at one time. And for me, like that's a small number compared to like what I would probably expect to see on like TikTok.
Yeah.
And so I felt really bad about myself after, but then I was on the phone with one of my best friends who was on it and she was like, Claire, people don't really go on Amazon Live. Like no one's like, it's not like you're on TikTok and you're scrolling and you see a live and you stop. Like you have
Mhm.
to get people off of your Instagram and get them to another app that they're not used to using for this format. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So
Right.
I think a lot of it too is kind of transferring, it's getting people's eyes there. I think they really want influencers to start doing it so that it can become like a new form of social media almost.
Yeah.
Because if you
Mhm.
go through and scroll, it's almost like a YouTube situation. And I'm trying to
Mhm.
make my content more like I want it to feel like I don't want it to be like buy this, buy this, buy this. I want it to be more engaging
Yes.
and do like entertain with Claire. Here's how I like next
Right.
one's
And more
gonna
of
be
like a
like
conversation kind of.
totally, yeah, and like have them talk to me in the chat. And my next one's
Mhm.
gonna be like holiday drinks and appetizers with Claire, but like using Amazon products
I'm
so
joining.
that it's kind of a mix. Please do.
I'll be
And
there.
comment in the chat.
I will literally be there.
Yay.
My family, I'm finally at the age where like they're like, okay, can you bring like, something to
Bring
Thanksgiving?
something.
Like, can you bring? I'm
Oh
like,
yeah.
no, but maybe try to figure it
I
out.
am not that old yet. Yeah.
Yeah, it's shocking. My mom, like, I just recently moved back to my hometown, and my mom was like, "Okay, so do you want to like cook something for Thanksgiving?" I was like, "No,
That
no."
is
I'm
that is
like,
a shocking question.
I was like, "Don't know." I mean, like, I could, but it's gonna taste
That's
like
a lot
shit.
of responsibility,
Like,
I
it's
feel
literally gonna
like.
taste like crap. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
she's
So
That's actually good content for me though. Like I'm sure a lot of people
yeah,
are kind of
very
dealing with
true.
that or like they want to impress or want to do
please
something
use
for
that.
once
I
or
was doing a school
yeah.
project and we had to do a like fake campaign, and that was mine. I was like, it was for Pillsbury, and I was like, they should do like content that's like, do
That's
you
a
not know
really
how to
good
cook, but you have to
idea.
bring something for Thanksgiving? Here's
That's
this easy
genius.
Pillsbury recipe. Anyway, please use it.
That's genius.
I want you to use it because I
I'll
want to
buy
know.
that from you.
No,
I'll
you don't
buy
even have
that
to. I
idea.
just want to know. I just want the ideas because I don't have any. I need easy recipes. Please,
Got it.
please,
I will
literally, please do
provide.
it. It's so fun.
Yeah, and I feel like the fact that you add like your stories and stuff, I feel like that just adds like it's not like going on not I work for I'm a social media manager on the side and it's like for a cookbook company. And so
Cool.
like their videos like that I make are like I'm not in them and like
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah.
just showing food and like
Yeah.
so I think that like adding that personality aspect adds so much and I love that you don't really plan too much because I think
Yeah.
that's something that I have struggled with is like I want to be more authentic and relatable but then I
Hmm.
also just have a lot going on so like
Mhm.
Yeah.
I if I'm going to post I need to plan it so then it's
Yeah.
like this weird balance of like I don't want it to seem too like forced but then also I want to post and if I don't
Yeah.
post if I don't plan it I'm not posting
Yep.
No, definitely. Yeah.
but yeah that's like a weird transition but so
It is.
for your I would your business you still sell stuff on
Yeah.
your art yes page so what are
Hmm.
your goals really with that business and then also with influencing and stuff or are you kind of
Yeah.
going with the flow
It's like I had been going with the flow for the past probably like 6 months. I just wanted to see where this was taking me and like
Yeah.
what I was liking, what I was gravitating towards. Because the thing about it is like it's really opened up a lot of doors for me. And I think it's like opened my eyes to just possibilities that I used to think were impossible. So
definitely
I've just honestly like I don't want to I've been really trying to like have really, really huge goals and manifestations that
Mhm.
are like overarching and crazy and like out of
Yeah.
this
yeah
world and seem so unattainable because I really am such a manifestor, and I've realized like, I also like, I didn't say this in the beginning, but when I first had that viral video, a couple weeks before, I was in the kitchen with Brian, my fiance, and I said, wait, I was like, I'm going to speak something into existence right now. And he's like, okay, what is it? And I was like,
He's like,
I'm
this
going to
again?
have, yeah, no, he's like, thinks I'm a witch. Thinks I'm a witch.
Oh my God.
But he's seen like what's happened to me, and he's kind of like, this is weird. But
like, is
so
it
I
working?
said like, I was like, and I was talking about like my painting videos, but I really wanted one to go viral on TikTok so that I could get more painting business. So I spoke out loud. I'm like, a video I make is gonna go viral on TikTok soon. A video, and I said it like 5 times, and he was like, okay, shut up, like you're so weird. And it happened like a month later. And
Yeah.
I don't know. So
he sees it. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, oh,
Claire, would you mind
He's like,
saying I'm going to be a millionaire?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So I don't know. I have like really been, I've just had crazy things like that I've manifested come true. And
Yeah.
I really think that like the universe does have your back. And I think that like anything is possible if you, you know, work for it, but also, you know, like believe that you can do it. So I basically like my goals for the future are honestly, like, I want to have a little empire. Like I want it to be like Claire at the head of it. And I want to have, you know, I want to have a lifestyle brand. I want to have home decor products and kitchenware, and I want to have fashion, and I want to have,
I'm very
like,
for this.
I just want it to like go and go and go. And I want to have books, and I want to be on TV. Like I will say that because I'm speaking into existence. We'll see what happens.
That so much.
I've had 2 calls with casting agents. I never thought a casting person would ever call me. Like, why would I ever think that? And 2 people have called me to do castings, and like, I can't talk about who they're for because they're still going on, but it was just like a weird moment for me being like, oh my God. And
like, this is possible. It's
possible. And also like, why would I never wanted to be famous. I never like wanted to be on TV. I never wanted any of this. And like, I'm not saying I will be on TV because we don't know yet, but I really hope I do one day. Because now I'm like, you know what, that would be sick. Like it'd be a great way for like me to get out to the world and just keep doing this. And so I think I have kind of like a vague goal at the end. And you know, I think when it comes to manifesting, I think I'm like not an expert on this. I just do it in my own weird way. But
we had a manifestation business coach on last week. You need to listen.
Last week.
The one the episode that's coming out before yours is a manifestation business coach, and she talked about a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's a real thing. It's legit. She was awesome.
I should connect with her. That's so cool.
You should. Yes. I can give you her username once we get off because I literally almost hired her. I was like,
I'll listen to the thing too. That's so cool.
She's awesome. She's awesome.
Yeah. But like, I read this thing and it was like, you're either a general manifestor or like a specific manifestor. If you're a specific manifestor, you write down that you want a Range Rover and you'll get a Range Rover in the next year.
Yeah.
If you're a general, you put like, I want a car, like, or I want a new car to somehow happen or something like that. And I figured out that I'm definitely a general influencer where like, even if I do put something specific, like something else might come my way in a really strange way. It's still kind of that, but it's in a totally way that I could never imagine it happening. So it's crazy.
I feel like that way you can manifest like more things. Whereas you're not like, if you're like, I'm going to get a Range Rover and I'm going to get a new house and I'm going to get like a new phone, like not all that's going to happen. You know what I mean? I don't know about all that, but
at least not all in one year.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So to close off the real questions, then we'll do random questions. What, if you could only give one piece of advice to somebody, what piece of advice would you give to somebody who's wanting to get into lifestyle content creation like you do currently?
Yeah. I feel like we've kind of gone over some of it, but it's definitely like, do what you want to do. Like, don't do what you think you're supposed to do. Don't go to other influencers' pages and say, oh, wow, I really like what this person is doing. An example of this is someone on TikTok. I started noticing this girl's videos popping up in my For You page, and they look just like my videos. They were the same. She took the same music as mine and the same fonts as mine. And it was different. Like, it definitely was different, but I'm not saying
obvious,
totally copying me, but it was pretty obvious. And like, and I had friends sending me the stuff, and then I had followers sending me the stuff.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, so you know what? This is like a little bit frustrating. And I just posted on my Instagram story and I was like, listen, if you're gonna, you can do that, but like, it's not going to work for you. Like, you can go and do what other influencers are doing, but like, they're already doing it and they're already a step ahead of you. So like, they're always going to be a
why
step
would
ahead
anybody
of you.
watch your stuff?
Like, why are you going to try to be one step behind someone at all times?
The moment that people start noticing is when like you're done. Like if people are noticing on their For You page, then they're like, you're done. Like if your friends are noticing and your followers are noticing, then all that the people are watching that video for is to be like, ooh, that looks a lot like stuff. You know, it's just like, it's not great. It's not great.
Yeah.
It's not great. And so, yeah, I would say definitely just do you, like, do not try to copy anyone else. You can get ideas
Right.
from other people. Like, of course I've gotten like influence ideas by other people. That's art. That's
Totally.
everything.
Exactly.
But you
Yeah.
have to make sure you're not copying someone. And it drives me crazy. But so, yeah, so do that. But then also you guys said sustainability. It has to be something that you
Yeah.
have loved for a long time.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
you're really
Passionate
interested in.
about.
Yeah. And like, I have a friend that I think she should be an influencer. She's a teacher right now, but I'm like, you need to be an influencer. She would be so good at it because she has this like kind of interesting life where she's a teacher and her fiance is a baseball player and she's about to get married and she has all this
Mhm.
stuff going on. And I'm kind of like, I just tell her, I'm like, you would be such a good influencer. She's beautiful. Like, and I'm like, you just need to be yourself. And so I'm just waiting for the moment she starts doing it. And I know she's going to blow up
Yeah.
because I just have a feeling. I think like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I really think if you are posting what you're interested in, and it could be the weirdest thing in the world, like it just has to be something that you're truly, truly interested in, and your interest in it isn't going to like die away or die out.
I agree.
Right.
Love it.
Right.
Okay. Random questions. I
Ooh.
love, these are good ones. These are really good ones. Okay. So the first one is, oh, I lost them. Just kidding. Here they are. What is your favorite local holiday activity? So we definitely did choose this because Claire
This
lives
is
in
a
New York.
selfish question.
And
Yes.
Alexis needs advice, but I know that there's like 8,000 bajillion options, Claire, but if you like could only do one thing the whole holiday season in New York, what would you do?
Okay. I feel like, let me think for 1 second because I just like, I hate New York at Christmas time. I hate it.
I'm sure it's just
because
chaos. It's just,
Yeah,
it's
it's
so,
yeah.
so chaotic.
Yeah.
And it's like
so, like,
capitalism.com, literally.
It's yeah, exactly. And like, yeah, it's when all the tourists come. So you have to kind of like
Yeah.
be wary, but I would
Prepared, yeah.
say, but I think there's one, and I wouldn't say it's really touristy, but maybe it's a little touristy, but like definitely locals do it too. And I love doing it. Going to Rolf's, it's the German restaurant and it has this beautiful ceiling and it's like the most decked out for Christmas restaurant you've ever seen. You have to make a reservation, like make it soon.
Okay.
But it is like the most beautiful thing. The ceilings are just decked out. It's a German restaurant. Food is really good. And when you look in the window, it just looks like you're looking into the North Pole. It's like magical.
Aw. Oh my God.
I love that.
Ugh,
Love
I've
that.
never been to New York during Christmas and like I want to go so bad, but like then again also I love going to New York and like the times when there's less tourists there because it's less it gets a little overwhelming there.
I feel like the best time to go is like spring and fall because I mean summer, don't do it, it's too hot.
It's
Spring
so
is
hot in the summer.
Fall is beautiful.
Yeah. Love
Definitely.
it. Okay, Alexis, do you want to share your favorite?
So I'm from Vermont, so it's very snowy. I would say honestly I think that I don't really do this a lot, but I think it's cute. I don't do it because I'm just uncoordinated, but there's this resort, this like ski resort called called it's in Stowe, which is like the most like it's the most like touristy place. But they have this like open ice skating rink that is like in their ski resort and it's just like so pretty and they have like hot chocolate and stuff and I would go there. I would struggle and like just tough it out, I guess, for the vibes.
You're so brave.
I'm so
cute.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're from Vermont? I'm from Maine.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, love Maine.
Wait, what time?
No, I know everything about you.
I know everything about you.
Oh
I'm from Essex Junction, which is like 15 minutes from or 10 minutes from Burlington, which is like our
nice
only city.
God.
So
my brother
not
went
even
to
really a city.
My brother went to Middlebury, so we spent a lot of time like.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There. Yeah.
My fiance went to Castleton, which is like not very far from Middlebury. Yep.
Got it. Oh, cool.
Wow. So I am from Louisiana. Literally could not be further from you guys and also could not be, well, it could be further, but it could not be less wintry than it is.
Yeah.
I was actually talking to a guy about the weather here and he was like, you literally have to call upon the snow miser if you would like to have any cold weather here.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. It was like 80 degrees a couple Christmases ago. But my favorite holiday activity is in New Orleans. There's this like Audubon Park and they do like all these like lights in like the park in the trees because there's really, really pretty trees down south. Like we have really, really, really pretty huge old trees. Yes, they're very old. And even just like my dad has like a really, really old tree in his yard. My grandmother had like a hundreds of years old live oak in her yard.
That's
But
amazing.
yeah, so the whole park has like all kinds of lights. And then they have this really weird section of like carnival rides. I skipped that part. It's like super weird.
Stay away from the carnies.
Yeah, it's like no, it's like literally kids throwing up everywhere. But there's like drinks and like little food stands and stuff. So it's very cute and fun. It's a fun little thing. Or going to see the Nutcracker
Yes.
ballet.
That's so cute.
I just love that, and it's so sweet.
So sweet.
Okay, last question, random question. What is your
Okay.
go-to thing to bring to or make for a party? Claire, you start.
All right, let me think. I don't know why this is like the one question I should know. Well, I've done it twice now in the past couple weeks. So I would say I definitely like I usually bring wine, like just because even if someone says, here's the thing, when it comes to a party, if someone is telling you not to bring anything, still
do
bring
it.
something.
Yes.
I don't care. And also like, this is just a rule of thumb for me. Even if it's like you are 21 and you're going to your friends, not if you're in college. If you're in college, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about after college.
Yes.
Because no rules in college, whatever, do what you want.
You have no money.
No money, no rules,
Yeah.
whatever, I get it. But like, say you want to start, practicing having manners or whatever, just like being an adult. I always bring, even if it's a party where they're saying we have everything covered, bring a bottle of wine. Just bring a bottle of wine. Because you just don't know what could happen. A million people could come, more people could come than they think. And then they don't have enough, or just,
it breaks
then they can
or
keep
something.
it. Yeah. And then they can keep the bottle and they can have it the next night,
Yeah.
So yeah, I always bring wine no matter what. If they specifically ask me to bring like liquor,
Something
I
different.
will bring wine. So I'll bring wine, but if they're specifically asking, I'll bring 2 bottles because I know that I'll be drinking the wine. Usually, sometimes people will be like, oh, bring whatever you want to drink, then bring extra. So just like make sure you're bringing what you're going to drink plus extra. And then I don't know. So then I do like a hostess gift always. Well, it depends on the vibe too. Like if I'm going to my best friend's house or like a close friend's house, no, I'm not going to bring a present for them. But if it's like a dinner party vibe, or if it's like more of a party vibe, someone's birthday, obviously you want to bring a birthday gift. But I bring something that feels like true to the occasion. I don't know why this feels really like nice to me. So like last dinner party I went to, I brought coasters because there's something you can use at a dinner party. If this person is throwing a party like this, it means they like doing that. And then, here's your little kind of contribution to the next one, I feel like.
Yeah, I love
that's really cute.
Yeah. So I feel like that's a cute idea. And then the other thing I thought of, and people were like, oh, that's genius. And I was like, oh, am I a genius for this? Was I don't like fully wrapping hostess gifts because it's awkward. Like, I think
somebody's
unwrapping
like
gifts is awkward.
Yeah.
I don't like
very
unwrap.
awkward.
It's awkward, like, because then everyone's standing around and like, I've just come to this realization that like gifts don't have to be fully wrapped all the time. If it's Christmas morning or a birthday, wrap the gift. But like, I feel like if it's just kind of an in passing gift or something like that, there's gonna be other people around. Like, just don't make it awkward. Just like, and then they get to just like look. And I basically wrapped up these coasters and I just put a ribbon around them and you can see what it is. You can see the design and everything. And it's really nice and well presented, but they don't have to like rip it apart in front of everyone. So
yeah, I agree.
Awkward part.
Especially if it's something where like there's no like sit down thing for people to open gifts. They're gonna be like, oh, okay. You're like walking in the door and you're like opening the whole thing. You're like, where do you put the tissue paper? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm literally learning because I just graduated college in May.
Nice.
So now I'm in, as we discussed, I'm apparently in the phase where I have to bring things to things. But yeah,
yes, you are.
Usually I'll bring like some sort of alcohol. Wine is an easy go-to, but in Louisiana, people get a little crazy. So sometimes it's like liquor, beer.
Yeah.
And then if somebody is telling me to cook, like if I'm responsible for cooking, my go-to is baked brie because it's extremely easy
to so good.
Bring and like cook there, but like you don't have to like be high maintenance. You just say, just like put this in there, and then it's done. Or any sort of like charcuterie situation. I love
you literally just took my 2 things because I was gonna say well we're just too
sorry queen.
No, the baked brie I feel like is like much more of an easy thing, but you can add like presentation to it and like make it look like more than it really is. But if I have like more time or if I like frankly care more, I like a charcuterie board.
Definitely.
Okay. Well, that was such a fun episode. Claire, do you want to go ahead and plug yourself, tell everybody where they can find you, where they can get all of your amazing lifestyle content and learn what to bring to parties and all that good stuff.
Definitely. So go follow me on TikTok. That's my number one thing. It's Clare, CLARE _McLaughlin, MCLAUGHLIN. My name is changing soon to Sullivan, which will be a lot easier. So that's my TikTok, Clare _McLaughlin _. And then my Instagram is the same. And then you can go on my website from my TikTok. You'll be able to see the link in bio. My website has like all of my art that you can shop. And I do like little blog posts, and it's just, a little lifestyle center.
Love that. Amazing. All right. Well, thank you guys for listening. Be sure to leave us a rating and review on wherever you listen to your podcasts, and subscribe to keep up with our weekly episodes.
And then follow us on TikTok at Check Your Aesthetic, and over on Instagram at Check Your Aesthetic Podcast, and our personal accounts, Katie Creative Co. and AlexisAdams.co and Clare _McLaughlin _.
Yes.
And we will talk to you next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.